Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show, December 1st, 2025. 24 shopping days left until Christmas. Glad you're all here. Hope everybody had a awesome Thanksgiving. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into football, turkey, National Guards troops killed over the weekend last week. That was terrible. We'll get more
Really
into that
upset the
stuff.
president.
Yeah.
Really upset the president.
And we're plenty to get to, so let's get to it. Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerlam Hay Feed and Ranch Services.
For everything you need, there's Deerlam Feed. It's 47 degrees in Victoria. Feels like 41.
It
That's the
does.
Democrat weather, 41. For us that live in reality, 47 degrees. Heading to a high today of only 53. Here's the key. From now until 3 o'clock, my weather app shows chance of rain from now till 3. And then tomorrow, partly sunny, and then rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what it says. So for sure, by about Wednesday, it'll be sunny and 80.
There was a little bit of drizzle this morning. The commander here as well. Stephanie Connie, first one in. Ricky King, Greg Garcia on the podium this morning.
Am I the drizzle?
You
No.
might be.
Oh,
you're
okay.
You're the cherry on top.
Okay.
Bobby Leister, Andrew Alvarez, Amanda King. Good morning, Marina Scherer, Randy Langston, Jordan Glass, Monty Howard. Good
Hi,
morning,
Marina.
Lisa Poole, Scott Tomko, Linda Christ, Heather Stewart, Marvin Mickish, Tammy Keeling, Tammy Williams, Sherry Jacobs, Justin Glass, David Glass. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're all here.
Team Glass in the
bit of
house.
drizzle. According to radar this morning, there was like frozen type stuff in the area. That wintry mix. Junior samples.
Must
bless
have
you.
been. What's that? What is the allergen that everybody gets this time? Ragweed. Ragweed, I tell you.
Is this
It made me
ragweed
sneeze.
season?
I don't sneeze very often now because I take 14,000 Allegra a week.
46 million turkeys were consumed on Thanksgiving this year, according to.
PETA should have been a vegan Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? How were your leftovers? Well, you had Thanksgiving with us.
I did.
How was it?
It was great.
Take a moment and
Yep.
talk about how great the food was.
It was good. That's the moment.
Man.
Your smoked turkey was probably your turkey on the pellet grill was probably the best smoked turkey ever because it wasn't overpowered by smoke.
Yeah, I did it two ways. I told you guys I was going to do it. I put one in a roaster, just traditional, salt, pepper. I put some poultry seasoning on it, put it in the roaster, 400 for 30 minutes, turn it down to 300, let it cook till it just fell apart. It was very good, but it tended to be just a little bit dry. And then I'm glad you didn't have to see. And there's a lot of times in the kitchen, you don't want to see the prep. You don't want to see the guy butcher the meat. You just want to eat the ribeye. I was trying, a la the YouTube videos, to spatchcock my turkey. And I had it in the sink, and I'm just trying to get those big KitchenAid. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're kitchen shears. To call them scissors would be an understatement. And I'm just like, I'm not
So
cutting.
you need those garden loppers.
You know what? You laugh. That's what I went and got. There was no, Dawn was still in bed.
I've
there
used
was
those things
zero-
myself in the past.
Zero sterilization. I simply got them, and they have blades about, a foot long each. They made it on the hedge. I turned that big bird up there, and I boom, 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 pulled that spine out of there. And then I thought it was going to be difficult to flatten it out because you see people like really leaning on it. They must be doing it when it's frozen.
Maybe so.
Because I just it reminds you, be gentle when you do CPR. Just crushed it. And then I injected it with the stasheries, was like a garlic butter stuff, and rubbed it down with olive oil and put on a couple of different, just whatever rubs I have that's always the best. The oleo of rubs is the best rub. Get you some sasheries, get you some, chupacabra, put it all on there. And I just put that bird on the pit.
Because really the only thing that ends up holding that flavor is the skin anyway.
That's right. And I put it on there.
And I think I ate every piece of skin that you had on that turkey.
Which is amazing. You're just so Canadian. You're like, oh, is that free? Excuse me, is that free? Ate the crunchy skin.
So
But
good.
that bird was on there on 280 Cody for probably 4.5 hours, something like that, 5 hours. And that breast just, I cut the skin and the breast just came off in one chunk, and then I just sliced it. But it was still Moist. It was moist.
Scott Tomko says once you lose your temper, it breaks pretty easy.
Yeah, once you're, and I'm also going like, Scott, like, by the way, I hope Lottie's doing well. And no kidding, it was almost like, I've got to get this bird on the pit before Dawn wakes up. Because of course, she told me, she said, I heard the yard sale going on in the kitchen this morning. Good morning, Uncle Norm.
And you weren't one of the 100,000 calls that'll be made to the Butterball hotline in November and December?
Is that crazy? Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just a big chicken. Although it reminded me, I was going to debone it at the end because once I cut the 4 breasts from the 2 big birds, we had enough to feed everybody. But the thigh meat is really good on a turkey. But the drumstick is just a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm not a big
It's
turkey
just, all those sinews and ligaments, like that bird needs all. I guess it's got all that landing gear just in case it might want to fly.
Yeah, needs it all.
Yeah, I mean, how does a chicken gets by with 1 bone and then 1 little toothpick bone? That's it.
That's it.
And I don't like if you don't cook your chicken just right, you get that chewy piece at the end, which I guess is a ligament.
Cartilage, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, Zed Stewart. Good morning.
Heather Stewart says Paravita did their.
Yeah, the chicken leg is great, but the turkey
Thanksgiving.
leg to me does nothing. I don't like the turkey leg.
Nope.
Just
With you.
the meat's good, but I just always think about those hillbillies walking around the carnival with turkey from ear to ear.
I think that's the only time people do that.
You think the commander ends up with a piece of that sinew, that cartilage stuck in his beard?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Little grease.
Well, hey, Scotty, you tell Lottie that we love her and we hope she gets well
Take
quick.
the rehab seriously.
Yeah,
Do
by
the
the
extra
way,
work at home.
Bob Constantine update. Junior Samples tell you Bob's doing well. We're excited for Bob. How about in our lifetime, folks? Bob Constantine goes in, no big deal, routine weekend, just picks up a liver and a kidney, and apparently is on the mend.
Yeah.
Dana Moore de la Garza, good morning.
All sorts of post
What do you
Thanksgiving
got? What do you
travel
got?
issues because of Midwest snowstorms.
Yeah.
You think we're going to see a Ukraine peace deal today? I know our special envoy Steve Witkoff is heading to Moscow.
Witkoff is a great negotiator. For President Trump to say that Witkoff is a great negotiator, he must be.
Yeah.
And he also says one thing about Steve. He goes, man, he's a genuinely nice guy. Apparently, the first time that Witkoff went and visited with Putin was after Pootie Poo and DJT had gotten sideways over something. And Trump said, I trusted Steve to go because I knew he couldn't make it any worse. He wouldn't make it worse. Hey, Cody, the Witkoff was in there. They thought it was going to be a 30-minute, like, come in and say the president sends his best and get out. Apparently, they had lunch, and, like, he stayed in there for, like, 3 hours with Putin. That Putin just controlled the time and said, no, he said, I really enjoyed getting to know that man. So, in other news, Witkoff defects and goes to Russia. I don't know. I thought it was interesting that he did get him in there. What do you got?
Well, we have the Afghan shoot 2 National Guards members in D.C., drove all the way from the state of Washington to Washington, D.C. I don't know, a few things over the weekend as I'm thinking about this. And I can't help but think that we always end up in trouble whenever we try to do deals with the folks that the CIA deals with. Especially in the Middle East, where we can't seem to trust any of them because they all do the work for the highest bidder. If the CIA came in and were the second highest bidder,
right,
the Afghans would have worked for whoever was bidding against us. It's just
Americans
the way.
don't understand that. They don't understand that there are countries. Afghanistan is a country built on lying. They lie about everything. And the idea that
And opium. That's it. Their whole export to the world is poppies and opium. That's it. Under the guise that we're selling poppies to florists, yeah, whatever.
So they literally in their negotiations say things like, well, we're getting, $500,000 a day from Russia. It'll take 600,000 for us to switch over. Because they have no loyalty. The only reason they want money is to grow more drugs. I mean,
and they don't have loyalty amongst themselves in that country. They're all little tribes that fight against each other. and look for whoever can give them an edge to win that fight, and then they backstab them as soon as that fight's over.
But the U.S. did use them and did pit tribes against each other. And then the Biden administration, I guess, in a fit of conscience, brought more than they should have here. They said these people have been assets. If we leave them in country, they're surely going to be killed. And then, can I bring my little cousin? So they put them all on C-130s and brought them over here. Remember, folks, with no loyalty to the U.S. And what Mike Slater said this morning is, we went to Afghanistan to make Afghanistan a little more like America. And when that didn't work out, we brought a bunch of Afghanis over here who have tried to make America more like Afghanistan. Both have failed. And now we have this problem. And you've got a guy that was here and he was seeking asylum, and then he decided to just lose his mind.
And he was granted some sort of asylum status here, right? But apparently I heard this morning that apparently ran out about 2 months ago. So the guy might have been here illegally. Still trying to verify all that because facts are coming in pretty quick on this Afghani who we won't mention his name because.
Don't you feel like both administrations, Trump blamed Biden, and look, I'm going to give both of those gentlemen a pass. I don't believe that Joe Biden, cognizant or not, was ever made aware of this guy.
No.
Ever. And I don't believe that Donald Trump ever looked at this guy's file and said, he's got to go. I don't believe that either thing happened. I'm not blaming the chief executive over one guy who came in seeking asylum. I'm saying that now that we know who this guy is, first of all, I think he should be taken out, leaned up against the Washington Monument, and shot in the dome. That's what I think. But that may be a little too harsh for many of you who believe he needs due process. Peter McNally, we'll get to that. That's a joke. That's a joke that there are no concerns of war crimes.
Except by Venezuela.
Right. Venezuela claiming war crimes against Donald Trump. Where are all the claims of war crimes against Barack Obama for the many times that he used drones against Iran? They don't exist. You know why? Because the people stirring that up are leftist idiots. When the left was doing it, everybody in America was for it. Way to go, Barack. Way to be decisive. When Trump blows up drug boats that are really just a statement to the Venezuelan regime that needs to go and will be gone soon, we will inject our will in Venezuela. When the Trumps blow up boats, all of a sudden it's a war crime. That's a joke. The hypocrisy is so thick.
Yeah, I think that we left billions of assets of.
Yeah, she's talking about human assets, and I don't disagree with you that there is some sympathy there. It doesn't make sense. I've watched Lioness. You know, you don't go off and leave somebody that you've groomed and gotten to work for you, who gives you inside information, because when you leave, it becomes apparent who the asset was, and you know they're going to die a horrible death. So you bring them. And I agree that occasionally you're going to get a bad actor when you do that, which is why I said I'm not holding Biden accountable for this particular guy. But that particular guy needs to be summarily dismissed with something 9mm or larger. And it's time to get rid of all these folks. They need to go. They need to go back.
And the president put a pause on all asylum cases.
Yeah, he should for a year.
And wants to stop immigration from third world countries.
Now, what you're going to start hearing the left whine about, and it won't maybe before this show is over.
Well, the UN has already won.
Is Trump looking for white supremacy? He only wants white people coming in. He brought in those Australians, but now he doesn't want the brown people from Afghanistan. No, we don't want the Muslim terrorists. If you're tendency is to yell Allah Akbar while you kill American
Death to
service
America.
members,
Yeah.
we don't really want you here. That's not freedom of speech. That's invitation to assassination. I do not need anybody ever yelling Allah Akbar near me that doesn't expect to get capped.
From the river to the sea. We don't need those people here.
I don't need that. Now, I'll let you say from the river to the sea because that just makes you an idiot. But if you decide to yell Allah Akbar near me, I'm going to assume that you're loaded up with dynamite and you may get shot. Hey, good morning, Mom. I'm just talking about killing people. Hope you're doing great, sweetheart. Had a great weekend with my mother. We had the huge Thanksgiving meal, you know, that you were there.
Yep.
How good was the food?
It's good.
Yeah. And by the way, did you have any, you don't eat deviled eggs?
No.
Yeah, well, thanks. Left more for me.
Yep. That's why I did that.
Man, my mom makes the deviled eggs.
I leave those for people who like them.
Fantastic. It's labor intensive. You know, you got to boil the eggs, then you got to peel the eggs without ripping them all apart. I get chunks out of my
Not
eggs.
easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at Peter McNally. Read the Department of Defense manual. You don't kill shipwreck survivors. Bro, there were no survivors on those boats.
I think there was reports that
Well,
there were
just
a couple
let
of
'em
guys
float.
clinging to a boat.
All right, well, don't kill them. Just let them float. They're drug dealers. I love it when Donald Trump said, I'm not declaring war on Venezuela, but I intend to keep killing drug dealers. Amen. God bless America.
Who's funding Venezuela? China, the leading
Russia
supplier of
and
fentanyl.
drugs.
Hezbollah, leading supplier of terrorism to the globe.
No doubt. Kill them. Kill them all. Absolutely.
I mean, we had Venezuela on a pretty prosperous path, and the people there too stupid to realize it and voted in Chavez, and now we have Chavez light and Maduro, who figures, you know what? I got to sell drugs in order to keep my lifestyle.
Peter McNally spewing my personal opinion. He says, I hold Biden et al. Accountable for vast aspects of the immigration scheme that doesn't pay attention to the individuals who come in. None of those Afghanis were vetted. They were friends of friends of friends. Some of them claimed to be friends in order to get on.
We're still vetting them, hence why this guy got some sort of status for a while and
And then it was
apparently has
revoked,
run out.
And
or
then they said,
revoked.
you got to go. But he so loves America and our lifestyle, he wanted to stay here. And then by staying here, he decided it was okay to go kill a couple of National Guards folks who had just been sworn in the day before.
Randy Langston says, how do you get the cartels out of everything? Well, in my opinion, you
Just declare
you,
war
you
on the
put
cartels and you kill them.
You put the squeeze on the big banks on Wall Street that are helping launder their.
You absolutely have to understand that the cartels operate without borders. The idea that the cartel, we think of ourselves the cartel, and you say, well, they're in Mexico. No, they have a huge headquarters operation in Kansas City. We sat in with Border Patrol folks, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe 4 now.
Maybe.
And the guy had a map, and he said, this is the Singular cartel, this is the so-and-so cartel. And we were there.
And they're in Houston.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, they are there. So, you know, there's no doubt that and look, when you get with drugs, it's because there's a demand issue in our country. We have a drug issue in our country. The cartels and other governments fuel that. China with fentanyl, they love the fact that, you know, a percentage of our population is doped out of their brains all the time. There's no doubt about that. Well, we're going to have a guest here in a little while. We'll talk about people being doped out of their brains.
Tom McEwen says, kill receiving and U.S. citizen drug dealers, too. Pipeline doesn't work on the receive. Well, they're killing themselves.
I could kill U.S. drug dealers, no problem. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Let's just make that. Let's make dealing drugs a capital offense. If the left is willing to join me on that, I'll do that in a heartbeat. Possession limits that show that you're a dealer, dead. You're dead. And by the way, we're not going to have 15 appeals and 14 years of governor-based stays. If you're a drug dealer, you want to get serious about drugs, start killing the drug dealers.
Fentanyl's such a problem, but we don't do anything really about it.
No.
And then when you start doing something about it, oh, he's killing fishermen from Venezuela.
Why is Donald Trump coming to inner city Chicago? You know, yeah.
Saw an interesting stat over the weekend as I was perusing stats. And Should have
How
screenshotted
exciting
it.
is your life?
Yeah, I know.
You can tell Marina's in Canada.
Should have screenshotted it. But something like the U.S. is like up like top 3 of gun deaths in the world, or something like that, or
Oh, we're one of the few countries that has guns.
yeah. But you take 4 major cities: Detroit, Chicago, L.A., and I can't remember the 4th one. Out of there, we drop like the 189th or something.
New
like
York.
that. No, I don't think New York was
New
the
York,
other one.
New York has gun
Yeah.
control.
No,
Yeah,
crazy.
so does Chicago though. Chicago's got
Chicago,
heavy
Detroit,
gun
and
control.
L.A.
Take
and
those
one other
3
one.
out. We plummet back into
Probably
and by the way,
hundreds, yeah.
there's get around the facts any way you want. They're liberal controlled, leftist controlled, Democrat controlled. I call them Obamacrats now. They're Obamacrat controlled, and their inner cities are black. And they kill each other. It's what they do for fun. What are you doing tonight? I'm a Kappa guy, so I can get into my gang. I say what you want. You want to, instead of dropping them leaflets and Planned Parenthood and abortion pills, just drop them 9mm ammo, let them all kill each other, and the country will move forward. I got no problem with that.
That's what's happening anyway.
It's a death Monday. We've already killed drug dealers. We've killed inner city blacks that have bad attitudes. And who else we're trying to kill?
Well, and apparently,
Afghani
apparently,
murderers.
Tarrant County stopped a guy who was threatening to bomb an unspecified target in Fort Worth. And
Guess
I don't know.
what?
I think ICE placed an immigration hold on the guy. I don't
Let's
know.
kill him too.
I don't know exactly. And who was the
If you're an
arresting
Afghani, if
agent?
you're an outsider, if you're an Afghani and you're threatening to blow up buildings, let's just go ahead and put a cap in that guy too. Folks, couldn't do anything without our sponsors. It's amazing. All of our sponsors are much nicer people. Went Services, Went Electrical for all your electrical needs. They can help you get a turnkey generator, Generac or Kohler, Cummins, whatever you need. They'll help you get it. Briggs & Stratton. They'll install it. Right now, you're out there, you're trying to do your outdoor Christmas lights. It ain't working. You'd be amazed. Call them. They'll come over, hang an outlet in your eave, a waterproof outlet, and run the wiring back to your main breaker box. You might be able to have it so that you can flip on your Christmas lights when you flip on your porch lights. How about that?
That'll be nice.
Atzenhofer and Atzenhofer.com. And maybe a little chilly for you out there today to go to Atzenhofer, 41 if you're a leftist, 47 if you're a realist. Atzenhofer can help you find your next ride. You want a new Chevrolet? You want a new Mitsubishi?
Gently pre-owned vehicle.
They have so many cars. I went by last Thursday. That wasn't Thursday. That was Thanksgiving. Wednesday, and visited with Adela, our friend, and Tommy Taylor. And I said, man, I've seen a lot of inventory. He goes, yes, but we're turning a lot of inventory. Lots and lots of truck deals being made. He said, that's how I know we have them priced right. So take your best deal. Go see Tommy Taylor at Atzenhofer. Tell him Wade and Carter sent you. He'd love to meet you. He's probably the most accessible dealership principal, given that, like the other dealers in town, their principals are out of town. They're not here. You're dealing with some manager.
Does he add a Wade and Carter fee if they tell him that they've come?
Yeah, it's an extra 10%.
I got
you. Which we get none of. Brand Us coming in. That was Cody chiming in. Brand Us can help you modify, update. I see it all the time in my business. If you go to an insurance agency's website, they always look the same, Cody. They always have pictures of things that they, like, I know for a fact it's a 3-man shop. They have 2 ladies working there, and you get over there and they've got like the, Chicago, they've got the World Trade Center tower on there. Like, you don't insure that. That's like false advertising. But a guy like Cody can help you humanize your website, make it
But
more
somewhere,
inviting.
one of the insurance companies they represent is in
Right,
that tower.
has a portion of it via a treaty or some facultative coverage. Chesnick Furniture, Chesnick and Love make your house a home. Bobby Leon and his family serving you and yours for over 100 years.
There's still a few tickets left for the Victoria Rotary gun raffle. Go see Bobby. He's got a handful of them left to sell.
That's
Just
a great
$100
reason.
bucks. Yeah.
Takes all the heat off you. Walk into Chesnick, right there at the corner of
Bridge,
and
Wanlin.
Wanlin and Bridge. Walk in there, and you used to say Bridge and Santa Rosa.
I used to.
Anyway, walk in there and say, I came to buy some Rotary gun raffle tickets. And while you're there, you can kind of look around and see what furniture you might want. Paravita Wellness, Paravita to help you stay healthy during the holidays.
Get ready.
I've got meals to pick up this week, and I cannot wait to do so. Paravita for all your macros. They can study. I want gluten-free. I want no preservatives. I want low carb. They can help you with all of that. You can supplement your bad holiday eating with quality food from Paravita for a lot cheaper than going to a hamburger joint.
New
What do you
state
got?
law goes into effect on Thursday that'll allow Texans to buy ivermectin without a prescription.
Right. I've been buying it without a prescription anyway. It's just different packaging. But that's great. They're just saying, hey, look, if you want to eat some horse,
How about
Parasite,
Tamiflu?
go
What's
ahead.
about Tamiflu available without prescription, given that it's flu season?
well, how many of you as parents, I mean, how many, certainly as grandparents, think about P. Strauss, how many of you could say to somebody, well, if it was me, I'd give that kid some children's Tylenol and some amoxicillin and see what happens. And then you go see the doctor because you think, well, P. Strauss doesn't know anything about medicine. And the doctor says, well, I don't really know. It could be a bug. It could be a virus. The little guy can't tell us. How about we just give him a broad spectrum antibiotic, like, let's say amoxicillin. He's scribbling.
There's the
and,
problem.
And
right?
we'll give you some children's Tylenol. And the next thing you know, you spend $100 on an office visit. That's why it's not over the counter. There's no reason to make parents. It isn't going to hurt your kid to give them amoxicillin.
Well, except you build up antibiotic resistance. And
Well, yeah, you don't want to do.
kids.
That's why I go to Mexico and buy drugs and bring them home.
Kill him.
I just don't remember the last time that I misdiagnosed something. I mean, it's just
Let a
experience.
virus go for.
It's like, hey,
let
I
it go
get-
for about 3 days, and if it clears up, it was a virus.
There you go. I get tonsillitis. I used to get tonsillitis about twice a year.
Did you take your own tonsils out?
No, I tell you what, you laughed.
Since you practice your own medicine?
You can bet there were times I would have. If you've
Oh,
ever
I
had
bet.
a really bad like strep throat
It's
deal,
been years.
there were times I would have. You can only eat so many popsicles,
I was wondering why he had garden shears.
right?
Congressman Troy Nell's announcing after the Thanksgiving weekend he will not seek another term. So he's going to retire after this congressional cycle, and he has recommended you vote for his identical twin brother, Trevor, who says he's going to run for the seat.
There you go. So what you say, T. Nels?
Yep.
Vote for T. Nels.
Trevor says District 22 needs a representative who will follow in Troy's footsteps and stand shoulder to shoulder with President Trump, and he says he's ready to take up that fight. I think that's Richmond area, Bay City, down that way.
How about this? Like, let me just tell you something I don't agree with. Don't agree with this. The 3-term congressman is a staunch Trump ally and has backed proposals to put the president's name on the $100 bill and rename Dulles Airport after Trump. Can we just quit putting Trump's name on everything?
Yeah.
Folks, if Donald Trump becomes your God, you're a loser. And if Donald Trump becomes your symbol of our republic, you are ignorant. Donald Trump is merely a tool. He happens to be the right tool at the right time, and he's doing what he said he was going to do and what Americans need him to do. It's not always popular, but he's doing the right thing.
Well, and what it's really exposed is how the courts are starting to run this country because of all the court challenges with everything he's trying to do. Right? That's what's really been exposed. With
I'm
this
not
stuff.
for that, by the way. I don't believe that these people should be able to. I just don't believe that. I just don't agree with that. The courts ought to stay out of running the country. What do we see up here?
I don't know.
Uh,
Melissa Hanson should be grandma today.
oh, that's cool.
Congratulations.
Yep. There you go. Scroll down a little bit more so we got back towards the bottom. Oh, look at that. Wait. Melissa Hanson said she went to the chopping block. You
Yep.
missed it. I was there yesterday. They are really, really
Told them
blowing
that
it
Wade and
going.
Carter Center. I wonder
That's
wonder
awesome.
what the response was.
I went
Who?
by and saw John and Rachel Turner yesterday. They were manning the shop themselves, giving their people a weekend off. It was awesome. Great folks, big ideas, lots of fun things happening at the chopping block. I told them, I said, we send everybody we can. I said, I know people now that they only buy their wings at the chopping block and they only buy them on Wednesday.
You can buy them every other day. You save.
Yeah, they're just a little bit,
I mean,
just a little bit more expensive.
$1 more a pound. It's not
Oh, look
ridiculous.
here. See if we can get this phone to work. How about there? You there?
I'm here, sir. We are here at Magic.
You're at Magic. Hey, we're joined this morning by our brother Gary Moses. How are you, my friend?
Well, good, sir. We're out and about. It was a nice, great Thanksgiving. Saw so many good people, Brent. I hope y'all had a good one, you and Ash and all the folks out there. And looks like rain today till about 4 o'clock. So just note December starting off a little rainy. But I want you to know, brother, that was some good Thanksgiving family time. I want y'all to know it was great.
Brother,
And
you're
then-
sounding good. You're sounding good. I heard you were out and about over the weekend, and I just want our folks to be reassured that you're getting better.
Thank you, sir. I really was. We had chili cook-offs. We had fundraisers and benefits, and we made a bunch of stops. Helping people out is what we do, Brent. You and all of us.
Well,
We're out
what day was the chili cook-off?
Well, we went Friday. I had Kristen with me. I let Kristen judge on Friday. She did desserts. Junior goes Saturday. He judges chili. He's loving every minute of it.
Yeah, Junior.
Yeah, and then you had to ride in the truck with Junior after the chili. I feel your pain.
And that was the tough one. That was the tough part.
Yeah. Well, for Junior, that chili will just, push that turkey on through. Things will be good for him.
You're right.
Well,
And
so
he-
you'll be live with Brother Ralph after our hour is up?
Well, we did it. We got it done. We saw Rena Shear and Calvin were out there.
Awesome.
So many good people. And we raised money for, listen to this, actual of this. One day we raised money for Dorothy O'Connor Pet Adoption Center. The
Nice.
second day we raised money for scholarships.
Nice.
So it's all good. Yeah, nice stuff. And they had the TV in the clubhouse, and you know what they were watching on Friday night?
You know they were
Oh,
watching
yeah.
the Horns play.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
What
Awesome.
can you believe? We took a clean sweep. Texans, Cowboys, and the Longhorns all won this weekend. How
Yes,
about
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get to that.
Well, hey, we love you and appreciate you checking in, and
Just wanted to say, love y'all. Miss
Keep
y'all.
us in
Hope
your
everybody had a
loop.
great Thanksgiving.
stay well out
Appreciate
there.
you, brother.
All right, brother.
We'll talk to you
Yes,
Friday.
brother. Y'all take care, guys. Good to
Bye,
see you.
buddy. Uh-huh.
All right, buddy.
That's our brother Gary Moses, and we encourage Gary to give us a call, let people know that he's doing well, and all is good. So
Should we take our next break real quick?
let's
and
take
then-
a quick break, and then we can
we've
talk
got-
to our guest.
Yeah, pretty interesting segment coming up.
Absolutely, folks. The chopping block, we mentioned it. Get in there, just trust us. Go in there and buy things. They we went in the other day, bought some hamburger meat. They make great hamburgers, believe it or not.
Prime rib for your Christmas meals. Good place to get it.
Absolutely. White Trash Services, 550-1826. Call today. Reserve a roll-off dumpster at your property. They'll come back and pick it up full of garbage and haul it off.
No better way.
550-1826.
No better way to get rid of all the post-Christmas trash.
Absolutely. The Dollar Floor Store, great folks, great products. Get in
Great prices.
and let them help
College
you do
Station,
for-
Bryan. They're in Victoria. They're in Rockport. So anywhere in our listening area, you can go to the Dollar Floor Store and they will have flooring for you.
Yep. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. I don't know what Andrew Alvarez is
I think he
talking
meant DoorDash.
about. Oh, DoorDash, not Door Death. Okay. Well, I was like, okay, great.
Been a lot of death
in a
this
bag.
morning.
Yeah, there's a lot of death. I've been killing everybody, but they all have it coming. 578-6300. Let Allen's Wrecker Service be your next go-to. Tow-to. They can help you get from here to there. Veracruz,
Yep,
Veracruz
get back into
Restaurant.
Veracruz today.
Get in after Thanksgiving. You need, like DJ Nelson says, post-Thanksgiving trash. Absolutely. Love it. Veracruz Restaurant, get in and let them give you the best Mexican food in town. Now, Randy Lake's going to ask, why do we have a system? If they break the law, say, with the drugs, why aren't they arrested with the system we have in place that would arrest us? Well, the number one, they're not American citizens, so they have absolutely zero rights under our Constitution. And number two, they're drug dealers in the open sea. And I either say let them float and die or go ahead and shoot them from the helicopter. Who cares? Get rid of them. They're drug dealers. If they happen to survive the first blast from the little rocket, go ahead and just
They're
go out
lucky.
there and clean them up. I'll do it. We could sell hunts. You can lean on the skid of a helicopter and shoot them. I have no problem with that. USA Concrete Coatings, 578 home. Let US Concrete Coatings update, level your home, level your driveway. Yeah. There you go. Oh, Randy says, no, I'm talking about the drugs in the White House and other branches. Well, no kidding. Yeah, let's arrest those folks too. Where's Joe Biden? There you have it. We'll get back to Palace Bingo in a little while because I'm excited to be joined by our sheriff, Sheriff Justin Marr. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are you
Morning.
doing?
We're
Great.
doing good. I hope it doesn't offend you that that we're spewing. We've been wanting to kill drug dealers, kill Afghani folks that shoot at our National Guard. Who else did I want to kill this morning?
I don't remember.
I was
The list is
listening
so
to the-
long.
Listening to the show on the way in, and I was like, man, I can turn around and go home.
Right.
You got it taken care of.
Gary Schmeckel says, idle down, idle down. I think he's talking about get the helicopter low enough to shoot him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I-
With Gary, that's probably
Probably
accurate.
exactly. So tell us big news. I'll set the scene by saying you immediately deflected the glory that we wanted to give to the Victoria County Sheriff's Office, but I want you to share, please, what happened last week on your watch.
Well, last Wednesday, Victoria County Sheriff's Office, along with Calhoun County and Port Lavaca PD and Goliad County, they're all members of the Crossroads HIDA Task Force that we house here in Victoria. Received some information, and basically we discovered a rail car out there on Formosa property that was concealing about 128 kilos of methamphetamine.
Wow. I mean,
That's
I
a
saw
large-
the picture. It's a large haul.
That's a lot of dope.
That's a lot of dope for some dopes that want it.
And while our guys, obviously my guys were very involved in it, but there were other departments, offices involved. And that's what I really just wanted to kind of highlight was the teamwork, the collaboration with this task force.
Well, about a month ago when you guys caught the alleged murderer out near Telfner,
Yes.
you also there gave much credit to the cooperative effort of DPS, Border Patrol, all the people that came in and helped with that. What do you think, not that we haven't had it before necessarily, but what do you think has led to this heightened air of cooperation? We hear all the time about groups that don't really get along, don't work well together. You even went out of your way to tell me, hey, VPD was integral in helping the SO apprehend this guy. Why do you feel at this time that we seem to have a really cooperative effort among the law enforcement groups?
Well, I mean, I think everybody is starting to understand that, not one office or agency has every resource available to them. We're very blessed here in Victoria. We have lots of assets and resources and great men and women, but yet there's other things that other agencies can offer. And, you're better working together like that.
Do you still have the O'Connor chopper somewhere?
No, sir.
Okay, I just wondered if we could, could we get that off the ground, maybe do some
It's
recruiting?
in Houston. I think Montgomery County has it.
T. Michael took it with him.
No, we
That's
shipped
what
it out.
it is. You-
Never
you
hit
know,
the air.
Like, but if they retrofitted it, Cody. It looks like the bat chopper now.
Yeah.
The bat
Tammy
chopper.
Williams says this sheriff's one of the most humble sheriffs in office. We're really
Absolutely.
blessed to have him. Proud of you, Sheriff Marr, and the VCSO. So what led to, I don't know you want to get into all the details, but what led to looking at
I
this
can't-
one rail car?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Tell us what
obviously-
happened without giving us any details. That's what Ashley said.
Well, let me just give you some word salad. No, I mean, we received some information. This case is obviously ongoing. This
Yeah.
was part of a case that we've been working for some time
Okay.
in other areas. And that's about it right now.
So off the record, since nobody's listening except all these people in all these counties, Calhoun, DeWitt. Did you give Bobby Vickery like an attaboy?
No, Bob, he understands.
He understands?
Yeah, his guys did great work.
Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Gonzales, Karnes City, Atascosa, B County, Frio, Jim Hogg County. They're all listening on the No Bull Network.
Got to reach.
You people need to understand, don't come to our county with bad intent because our sheriff will lock you up. But do you feel like this particular bust could lead you back to the big fish?
We always hope so. I mean, that's the goal is to, that's what we're always working on.
Any individuals apprehended in this?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
My head started kind of going down the rabbit hole of what because if I read correctly, secret compartments on this
Yeah,
rail
very
car, right?
sophisticated
So
work.
somebody's taken the time to build these compartments on a rail car somewhere. There's got to be some help somewhere, right?
There's a lot of time and effort put into concealing this dope like this. This didn't just happen on a whim of, hey, let's move some drugs across the border.
Did they think it originated in Mexico and then came across that way?
More than likely,
Is
yeah.
that what you think? Yeah.
And fair and worth noting that all of this apprehension or this recovery happened at Formosa. No implications about Formosa in this
None
whatsoever.
at all. Absolutely not.
Just happened to be where the train stopped.
Correct.
Could have been anywhere.
But think about it. Think of the logistics of that. Once you load that car, you've got to be able to track that car all the way to wherever it's going so that somebody can then offload it. I mean, the logistics.
Yes,
There
sir.
were people getting degrees in logistics for this sort of stuff.
Look at
It
Chief
was well planned.
Chief Deputy Will Franklin says VCSO is all business, no promotion, just performance. Will, there's nowhere to promote you. You're the guy. We appreciate you chiming in. And you're right. I mean, I tell you, we're friends. We talk away from the show when you're willing to take my call. And I find it interesting
Just so
that,
often.
in all fairness, I don't think that our local law enforcement at every level, but especially at the elected level, I mean, the Victoria County Sheriff, you don't toot your horn enough. And I get it that for your career, you were on the road doing the job. And I know your goal every day was to make it home to your family. And at the end of the day, you're like, I did my job and I went home. But I think people in Victoria need to know about these wins, and we appreciate you coming in to share.
Well, it was definitely a big win for the community. And like I said, all of this is due to the hard work that the men and women at the sheriff's office put in every day. It's not me. I just get to drive the ship.
Well, you're a good one. We appreciate you, Captain.
All righty.
And by the way, dove season opens again on the 10th.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too far along.
Be ready.
Not far away. All
Be
right.
ready. Hey, that's our sheriff. Are you done? You have any? No, man, I don't want to rush you out. We got nothing but time for you. You got anything else you want to share?
No, I mean, there's some good things coming down the road, but I need to touch back with you probably after the turn of the year on that with the Guadalupe Training Center. So I'm excited
exciting.
about that.
Any
That is
laws coming into effect this week that has you concerned or worried or maybe having to deal with more that would pass the legislative session?
We deal with it as it
Yeah.
comes. That happens all the time. There's always unfunded mandates and new little tweaks and works to the law.
You just gave Ben Zeller hives. Now, he's got commissioner's court today, and you said unfunded mandates out loud. He hates that.
No doubt.
That's his go-to. Like, what's wrong? Unfunded mandates.
Well, he can use it again here in a little bit.
There you go. Hey, we appreciate you, boss.
All right.
Come
Take
see
care,
us
guys.
anytime, folks.
See
What
you.
a great guy to
Sheriff
have
Maher, thank you very much.
in our quiver. It's always, I've never had a time that I've reached out that he hasn't said, I'll come by.
I was Victoria County Sheriff.
He's
Justin
awesome.
Maher.
Bye, Jay.
Yep.
Palace Bingo, folks, where friends meet friends. Let Palace Bingo host your next birthday party. You can go out there with a group of friends. You have to be shh, keep it quiet. But the first ball pops multiple times during the day. Get out there and enjoy it. Do we want to?
We'll be there on the.
That's not us.
that's not us. We'll be there on the.
There's us.
We'll be there on what day?
Cody Kim.
11th.
Cody Kim.
How you doing?
There you go. Okay. Wait, do it in your DJ voice.
Welcome to the radio show.
There you have it, Commander Cody.
Do we want to get into the Dallas Cowboys real quick? Because
Yeah, you see
I mean,
P. Strauss, ungrateful winner. Oh, I hope the Horns win that Alamo Bowl. Okay. The Aggies making a big deal about the fact that, now they've got a transitive partner in OU now. The Horns the Aggies and the Sooners will both be in the playoff, and the Horns will be home watching. Yeah, that's cool. But,
Schmeckel.
just like y'all were the last 2 years.
Gary says don't go on the 10th. Dove season doesn't open until the 12th. That's
Oh,
the
thank
Saturday.
you.
Thank
Okay,
you for
that's
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good to know.
we'll get to the Aggies in a minute.
Dallas Cowboys. I mean, not many gave them a chance to win on Thanksgiving Day. They beat the
I
Chiefs.
didn't.
I picked them.
Well, they really did.
31-28 final score. Cowboys actually looked pretty good.
Cowboys look
I'll
really
say
good.
this. Clowney, the other acquisitions, Overshone coming back off injury. The Cowboys defense now gets pressure on quarterbacks, and now they're starting to look like a defense. I don't think they're Super Bowl champs, but they're probably the 2-game winning streak over the Eagles and the Chiefs. They might be the hottest team in the NFC, or at least
So let me
team
address
trending in the right direction.
my gloating friend Patrick Strauss. The only Aggies can gloat in defeat. He says, I'll take 11-1 with the loss to the Horns every year. So the Horns are now 78, 37, and 5 against the Aggies all time, which amazingly enough, it is unbelievable to me how much that mirrors the numbers. I think it's like 75, 38, and 3 between Michigan and Michigan State. Ohio,
Very similar between Washington and Washington State.
absolutely. Ohio State and Ohio. Did you know that Ohio State's won every game against Ohio ever? The Aggies did what I told you they would do. I had the score being 42-38. Texas, a 4-point differential. The game was lower scoring and the differential was bigger. I mean, the Horns win 27-17.
Defenses played well. I'll say this: I've been watching a lot of football this weekend, both pro and college.
Right.
That might have been one of the hardest hitting games,
Yeah.
if not the hardest hitting game on both sides of the football.
Mike Elko doing a great job with the Aggies. They play a tenacious, tough defense, but the Horns also tackling better overall since Steve Sarkisian's been in the house. Horns finished the season at 9-3. You know, I'll take it. He goes 13-3, 12-2, 9-3. We won 34 games in the last 3 years. Went to the college football playoff 2 out of 3, and we're 6-0 against Arkansas, A&M, and OU since joining the SEC. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year, even when we were ranked number 1, that I would end up with 9-3 and beat OU and A&M, I'd have said, okay. I mean, I'm okay with that. Or is it a successful year? Probably not. But overall, it's fine. Now, the Aggies are the ones that actually have a problem. I think they come into the college football playoff ranked 7. It doesn't matter. Anything below 4, you don't have the home field, or you don't get the bye. They may have home field. That's fine. I wish them the best. I hope the Aggies run the table. It's not going to happen. At some point, they've got to either play Ohio State,
Who looked really good.
Georgia, or Alabama. You're going to have – I want you to watch, objectively, watch the SEC championship game and just watch how fast the Georgia and Alabama teams are. Patrick Strauss says, and it took Sark about 2 seconds after the game to start begging the CFP.
You're not doing your job as a coach
I
if
was
you're not
gonna say,
advocating for
do
your
you
team to
honestly
get in there.
fault him for that? Do you remember a couple of seasons ago when Buzz, whatever his name was, their basketball coach, was literally crying in a press conference about why the Aggies weren't going to make the NCAA tournament? I don't put Sark down. If we're paying him $8-9 million a year,
Oh, look at that! I had Texas at 9-3,
yeah, what did I have him?
10-1.
Okay. Number one, I did not assume. I assumed that I think that we would lose to Ohio State, and I didn't assume we'd lose any more. And we should not have lost to Florida.
Well, we both had the Aggies losing 4 games this year, and hats off to them.
Hats
They had
off
a
to
good
the
year.
Aggies for
Absolutely.
yeah,
And that was an entertaining football game. Both defenses played well. And I'll say this, being objective, Arch Manning had a better game than Marcel Reed.
and Marcel
Arch-
Reed did what I told you he would do at some point. To me, he cost the Aggies the game.
I don't know that he did that, but
Yeah, his
the 2
frailty
interceptions at
and
the end.
interceptions, yeah.
Yeah, but you were forcing things to try to make things. I'm not going to throw those 2 interceptions. I mean, he threw the 2 interceptions. They're on him. The first one towards the end, probably on him. The second one, he was just trying to make.
Well,
a
he
play.
does have
It
a
was
hurt
desperate.
ankle, and
Yeah.
I hope that gets better. I don't want him
Yeah.
to be. He hurt himself in the.
I mean,
open
I was
field.
watching the game with you, and you even said, "I hope he doesn't leave the game."
No, I did. I don't want him to be hurt.
No.
Yes, Melissa Hanson, Ash is back to babyface. He got a haircut. He shaved.
Yep.
Movember is over.
November's over.
He's like, took you
Mustache is shaved.
50 minutes of the program to realize that.
Yeah,
But that's okay. You're going to be a grandmother.
but I think that was one of the best football games of the weekend besides Washington State.
It
beating
was a
up on
good
Oregon
rivalry
State.
game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that there's no reason for any real college football fan to have any animosity whatsoever towards Arch Manning. Arch Manning has been the consummate teammate. He always says the right thing. Just like Sheriff Marr, he always defers the credit. After the game, he was there with Michael Taft, and somebody asked him about, how did you feel about this dropped pass? And specifically about a player and a dropped ball. And he goes, hey, look, he didn't mean to drop the ball. He goes, he said, Lord knows there's been plenty of times where I delivered a terrible pass, and they caught it. He said, everybody's doing their best. He goes, we just forget that play, and we move on. He is the consummate teammate.
Several of his intentional groundings or close to intentional
Yes.
groundings were not good decisions.
But at the same time, hats off to the Aggies. They do go 11-1. I felt confident it was going to happen. And we'll see what happens. I don't think that the Aggies are in any danger. Prepare yourself, Ags. You're not in any danger of winning a national championship. You're just not. You're not going to beat Georgia, Bama, or Ohio State, or maybe Indiana, or maybe even Texas Tech. Texas Tech just continues to roll. They're winning, they're winning the Big 12. Now, I believe that every team I just mentioned, including the Aggies, would beat Texas Tech. And I think Georgia would dog walk Texas Tech. There's just no way that Tech could keep up. So we'll see. Tech's going to get exposed because the Big 12 is just not. It's just not the Big 12.
No.
So
They're
we'll see what happens.
they're probably going to be the only team that gets in. What about Lane Kiffin taking? Here's the thing with Lane Kiffin. Anybody who was surprised Lane Kiffin took the LSU job in the midst of
Doesn't
Ole
know
Miss
ball.
being in
They don't know ball.
in a national championship hunt with one loss, doesn't know football and doesn't know Lane Kiffin.
Right.
Lane
He's an
Kiffin is always
opportunist.
out for Lane,
Absolutely.
and Lane's next job is just around the corner.
That's right. No doubt about it. I don't personally, if you paid me a whole bunch of money, which he makes,
Yeah.
I'd rather live in, what town is it? Where Ole Miss is?
No, Starksville's Mississippi State.
No, it's not Hattiesburg.
No, that's
Amory?
Southern Miss.
What town is it, Commander?
I'm looking it up right now.
I knew you were, sir. At any rate, I'd rather live anywhere than Baton Rouge.
University of Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, University of Mississippi. But Kiffin leaves. and-
Oxford,
Oxford, thank you.
Mississippi. Took
And
me a second.
And Lane Kiffin said, look, I want to stay with my team. I want this team to be as good as it can be, which I'm sure irked LSU donors.
Well, he apparently won't finish the year with
But
the
but
Rebels.
when the university said, get out, he said, if you don't let me address my team and if you don't let me stay and coach, then I'm going to poach every coach off my staff that I can and take them with me. And by the way, with the portal, I'll reach out to my best players and take them with me.
Well, is that really a threat anymore? I mean,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
coaches seem to do. They take their staff and they take their best players now with the portal.
But here's the deal, and this is what you have to understand, and I'll even throw the Aggies into this because the Aggies gave Mike Elko a $60 million extension because they were afraid that he was going to leave and go to Penn State, which I think would be a stupid move. I think A&M's a better job than Penn State. I think it's got more potential in this current environment than Penn State. Penn State
They've got a
will
more-
be behind Ohio State and Michigan forever because they just don't have the money, the alumni, or the tradition.
Well, and they've got and A&M has a more, I think, robust fan base and
Right.
donor base and folks that can give NIL money into the collectives in order to keep
And-
A&M in the hunt for.
Maybe,
I mean, what were they 11-0 going in this weekend
yeah.
for only the third time ever in program history?
Think about that. 11-0 for the third time, 1939, 2012 with Manziel, and this year. Third time in program history. Indiana, in comparison, first time in program. Yeah, so people talk about how, the Aggies have been so
It
strong.
also shows you how hard that is to do.
Here's a tough reality for the Aggies to just deal with. It's just a stat. It's not a judgment. It's just you make the call. Since the turn of the century, in the last 25 years, Texas has had more 10-win seasons than the Aggies have had since 1920. So that includes 39 and 12 and this year. We've had more 10-win seasons with the worst decade in our history than the Aggies have had in their entire history. So it's just something to pray about.
Well, and here's how football fans go, because I watched this at Washington State, and God rest his soul, Mike Leach. The guy had us on the best
Can't stand
program.
prosperity.
it was this and more wins, best winning percentage, you name it, lots of fun, excitement, the best post-game press conferences ever.
Yeah, they fired him.
And they didn't fire him, they chased him away.
Yeah.
The fans were so because he couldn't win an Apple Cup. Well, you know what? Washington State has only won about 30% of all the Apple Cups ever played in the 100+ years of that rivalry. It just doesn't happen very often. But he had him winning 10 games. He had him winning 9 games. He had him winning 11 games. I mean, it was exciting football, and they weren't happy. And that's the problem. And not just there, but in college sports in general. You're quick to jump on a coach who's doing his best. And A&M jumped on Elko, as they probably should have, but they've made mistakes in the past when they've jumped on other coaches. That Jimbo.
Yep.
But they I think the hiring of Jimbo was the wrong one. I think they've got it right with Elko from the very beginning. And
maybe Elko can make that a destination job. Patrick Strauss says Texas also had 2 years that 0 players were drafted in the whole NFL draft. That should tell you something. Well, does this tell you something? In the last 2 years, Texas has had more people drafted than any other program, 24.
I mean, if we're going to go down there, how many number one drafts or recruiting classes A&M had in the last few years, according to the rankings of of signing classes?
Elko's doing a great job with Jimbo's players, Ash. That's a fact. Until Elko proves that he can bring them in.
I think he did. The portal.
Yeah.
Reed was his.
I look for him to do great things. People assume that because I'm a Texas grad that I hate A&M. I do not. And people assume that I'm anti-A&M. I am not.
People think that I hate A&M because I stand next to you, and I don't. I think college football is better when Texas and A&M are both relevant, and you're on ABC at 6:30 Central Time kickoff on Friday night, the day after Thanksgiving.
I like it. I do have to tell you that I thought it was interesting that the team that historically go back to the South Carolina game, in fact, many of their games, in a lot of their games, the Aggies gave up a lot of points. Observation, not judgment. They still won. The team that historically this season has made the most and the best adjustments got out-adjusted by Texas. That game wasn't close.
Arch Manning put that team on his back, and I mean that run, that draw play for the touchdown,
outran the entire Aggie defense. What I've seen is Arch Manning has gotten better each of the last 5 weeks. Think about that. Each of the last 5 weeks, he's gotten better. He started off his first couple of games averaging 108, 120 yards passing. And the last 5 or 6 games, he's had over 300 yards passing, and he's run for a bunch of yards. Last week he ran for a TD, caught a TD pass, and threw a couple.
He runs better than I thought he did. Maybe because I'm so used to watching his uncles not be able to run. Although Eli was a little more mobile than Peyton.
Well, he got chased a little more than Peyton. Peyton went through about 6 seasons where nobody touched him.
There's that. But I thought it was one of the better college football games I've seen in a long time. The other surprise over the weekend, I was surprised Vandy handled Tennessee as easily as they did. But I will say this, and and watch what's going to happen. Hide and wait. College football, when you look at now, the Pac-12 is going to rebrand and reform next year. They've got enough football teams, and they're going to try. It's not going to get there. You've got 4 conferences. They're going to try to get to 48 to 64 teams. That will be Division I college football. That's it. That's where it's going to play out. And everybody else is going to be left. And I mean, when you look at the teams that are, and even the Big 12 right now is not really relevant. They're down to 3 conferences. Well, 2 conferences, because the ACC is not very relevant either. It's the SEC and the Big 10. Big 12, ACC on the periphery right now. But that's what they want. They want fewer teams, and they want it like a super league of college football. And then the trickle down is going to happen, and it's going to be messy.
64 teams, and that'll be it.
And it will be messy.
Don't worry, Aggies, you're in.
Yeah, no. But
JP Hull, thinking like an Aggie. Texas went to overtime twice. They could have easily had 2 more losses. You can also lose games where you don't go to overtime. The reality is winners win. Winners win. Except for Florida, I've got no problem with Texas' schedule. I put Florida squarely on the shoulders of one Steve Sarkisian. Very, very much on Steve Sarkisian. Patrick Strauss chirping again from clearly not realizing that the Aggies until just this year, or maybe late last year, hadn't won a game on the road in the SEC like in a decade. He says the Horns are pathetic on the road. We'll see. Their next game will not be a home game. I wish the Aggies nothing but the best, as long as they understand. Look, if you're going to find a way, any scenario that lets the University of North Texas into the playoff and leaves Texas at home is a flawed scenario. With that said, if you have 3 losses and one of them is to 4-8 Florida, you don't deserve to be in the college football playoff. You don't deserve to be there. Conversely, if you want the best 12 teams in the country right now playing, Texas is one of the 12.
North Texas isn't. They're going
Certainly
to get
not.
in because they're one of the lesser conferences.
That's right.
They lose to South Florida 63-36 for their only loss. But, I mean, come on.
But-
Temple, Rice,
Yeah.
Alabama, Birmingham,
Navy.
Charlotte, Washington State,
UTSA, Army,
Western Michigan. Although that Western Michigan
Lamar.
Eastern game over the
They
weekend
beat
was
Lamar
pretty good.
51-0, you know. Yeah, Peter, we'll get to basketball.
Yeah, but
Basketball season
basketball's
starts for the Longhorns now. but
Basketball's
it's
a
not.
completely different animal. I'm
Yeah.
talking strictly football. That's what they want.
Absolutely. Hey, love you guys, and I hope you have a great week. That's about as humble and gracious in victory as I can be.
Can't win the week if you don't win Monday.
That's right. Go get them. Bye,
Bye,
folks.
folks.